Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Shaco game. Yes, I have hit rock bottom. And I figured if I want to keep fighting Shacos, then I might as well be the Shaco. Yes, I don't really know how to play Shaco that much, or at all. In fact, before this match even started, I googled Shaco, how to play Shaco. And I just took whatever first build that was given to me, runes and masteries and item build that I'll be taking this game. I don't even know how to put down boxes, and thankfully I got lucky here. I just sort of know things based on fighting the Shacos and, dealing with their cancer. So I go to the enemy jungle, I start setting up boxes to try to kill the Kha'Zix as soon as he shows up, but I don't do this correctly. He doesn't die quickly, he ends up dealing a good amount of damage to me, and he ends up smiting the red in order to survive. He gets a bad flash, I get a bad blink, and he almost actually kills me. I don't give a chase because he could kill me if I chased. But for whatever reason, after I put my box over the wall, he decides to fight that. And he gets feared, which allows me to go over and just stab him to death. And after that, steal his red. I don't know why he did that, but it's going to pretty much give me control of the early game. It's going to set me up for kind of the rest of the game. For someone who doesn't know how to play Shaco, that was a huge morale boost. My boner was at attention, basically. Now, runes and masteries, I think there was something like attack damage red, attack speed, Quinn's, armor yellow, cooldown reduction blues, and 12, 18, 0 masteries. I don't really know. I just took the first thing that I saw. And I'm just... this might be me playing Shaco in all its horrible misery, but there's one thing I do want to use this as a sort of lesson for you. I don't know how to play Shaco, but I am learning as I go very quickly because I'm paying attention, or remembering things I've seen when I've played other Shacos. In that case, I forgot, oh yeah, if you blink from a bush, they get to see the little puffy puff. So, I'm not going to do that again through the rest of the game. I'm starting to sort of gauge the amount of damage I can do, or how fast I can be, and that kind of stuff. I'm sort of gauging my strengths and whatnot. And that's why, as I go along with this game, you'll see me actually make better plays. So I want to make sure you guys pay attention to that. I start off really shit, and doesn't mean I won't do really shitty stuff later on into the game, but I'm using a lot of the things I know based on from fighting other Shacos. I have learned from the cancer. I've vaccinated myself against it, and I've become better as a result. I mean, I'm still no Shaco expert, and probably never will be, and I will probably not play another Shaco game in another 3 years. But hey, I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was doing. Still though, you guys probably want me to talk about the merits of Jungle Shaco. Mostly it's cheese. And some people got pissed off when I said, oh, why would you call Shaco cheese? Yeah, he's pretty cheesy. He snowballs or he scales off the stupidity of your opponents, and he's pretty much just a lot of frustration to deal with. He doesn't really have much of any sort of value, or it benefits the team in any real way, but he just snowballs out of control and becomes a general nuisance that's very difficult to deal with if you're not being careful. And that's the major thing about Shaco. If you're not being careful, if you're just letting yourself, get flustered or tilt yourself or anything, he's gonna prey on you and bitch slap you. By the way, that was fun, using my ultimate to kill the Draven, because I think he didn't know that was the fake one, because what kind of dumbass Shaco would be tanking the tower like I did, right? Either way, as you can see, I'm getting a lot of very cheesy kills, just being in the right place at the right time and stabbing someone in the face. That's kind of Shaco in a nutshell. Either way, like I said, I'm playing the control game so far right now, just sort of running around trying to control the map, pin down the Kha'Zix, steal his boss, make sure he doesn't gank anybody, and just sort of fortify everyone with my jack-in-the-boxes. I'm not too familiar with how to make Shaco's ganks work too well, so I'm going with just the control aspect. And I am aware some people will be super upset and say, you should only be super ganking with Shaco from level 2 and onwards. But hey, he can also be played primarily control, and that's what I know best. So take that as also another lesson in having more lessons or teaching yourself. Use what you know to expand what you're trying to know, and whatnot, and so please. So I killed the Shaco, I got killed in return, and then my teammates killed the Draven in return. It's a lot of, a little swapping here. Anyways, Talia comes in, kills the Zyra, in comes Kha'Zix, kills my homie. Jace teleported in, beats the Talia's face in. When she returns to fight him, even though that was probably a terrible idea, Rice comes in, finishes her off, and well, technically Jace finishes her off, and it was just a huge swap of blood. I was gonna say some other, humanly bodily function, but that's pretty unpleasing. Anyways, the whole tier dragon thing is just me remembering this is how I see all those goddamn Shacos doing dragon, so I just figured I might as well do that. I didn't do it earlier because I wasn't super secure at what I exactly needed in order to take a dragon, but I've seen Shacos take dragon as soon as level 6. I just wasn't going to chance that shit, right? I don't play that game, yo. So, anyhow, I'm going with the first build I saw, item-wise, and it was recommending me Warrior, Hydra, and Static Shiv, just sort of super crit someone to death. And eventually, if you get super fed or super farmed, Infinity Edge. As you can see, once I have the Tiamat, farming becomes such an ease, mostly because you have a lot of high damage, and the Tiamat just lets you cleave down camps. Your sustain is going to pick up once you get some lifesteal, or if you bother using boxes. But at this point, your boxes are pretty damn useless for clearing, and just the occasional mini tanking. At this point, you just kind of stab them to death real quickly. Either way, here I'm sneaking B around the bushes. I'm not too sure how the distance as to where Shaco reveals the smoke, so just kind of wait around here instead of trying to sneak around the bushes. Either way, Kha'Zix comes in, I stab him in the butt, he dies, Nar can't follow up and kill the Rise, and he proceeds to taunt us, unknowing to him that my teammates are coming from behind him. They catch him, and they pretty much ass blast him. Pew! Dead Nar. So hooray for us, we dominated top lane. Either way, even so, you can see that the kill spread of my team is pretty damn good, but the enemy team also is pretty damn strong, mostly because the Draven is super fed. So if you can't control the Draven, he's probably going to just run a train on our asses. Still, though, all is fine as all is good, and, well, the one bad thing that can make us lose is the fact that I'm Shaco. Although Shaco could probably kill Draven, so Shaco could also be one of the reasons we can win. Either way, I'm getting the hang of moving him around, using my boxes. I'm still not really getting the hang of dealing his super leap burst combos, but that will come in time. Again, I don't really think I'll be practicing Shaco too much. It was just a diversion. And it was honestly kind of a funny ass diversion. It's just something super new to try. Very new to try, but not a playstyle I'm very, akin to. It's not what I do. I prefer the utility, I prefer the tanky tanks. But, diversions come and go. I strongly will not recommend him. Like, I'm an experienced jungler. You can have whatever criticisms you want about my skill, but I will say that I have a lot of knowledge. And that's allowed me to at least get away with not knowing certain champions. And Shaco is considered one of the harder ones, at least not to be a complete sack of shit with him. So I wouldn't really recommend just trying to pick him up unless you already know what you're kind of doing. Or if you're lower division and you just want to be a complete jackass to everybody who has ever existed in life. Because my god, when I was playing in lower divisions, I played Shaco once in lower divisions a long time ago. I played him because I think he was super powerful at that point as AP. And I was just putting bent down boxes in the enemy jungle and waiting for the opponents to come in there. And I felt so fucking dirty. Like, just players don't learn. It's like, dude, you died this way. You already died this way by walking into a bush because of a Shaco. And then you die again to it. I think by the third time, you should realize there's a problem. You shouldn't be walking into bushes against an AP Shaco. So, yeah. Nonetheless, right now, I would say, considering all the changes, the nerfs, and all this other stuff, Shaco's probably the most difficult he's probably ever been. So, I wouldn't recommend them unless you just, again, want to feed off people. By the way, I failed my recording there, but the Kha'Zix absolutely butt-wrecked the shit out of me, and I didn't even see it coming. Sort of like walking down, like, and then bam, instantly burst it down. So, that pretty much told me, if I don't shank the Kha'Zix first, he will be shanking me. It's like prison rules, shank or be shanked, right now. Anyhow, because due to all the shenanigans mid and pretty much ignoring Jace, he pretty much destroyed all of top lane. He can pretty much kill anyone on their team ridiculously quick. He's really fed and really massive farm-wise. So, as long as he survives, you could probably just kick the rest of their faces in. Now, again, I'm playing the control game, sweeping for wards, running around, just making damn sure control the Scuttle Crab. It may be 28 minutes in, but controls someone like Shaco can still enact control simply because of the nature of his boxes and how elusive he can be. The idea with Shaco and his controlling the game even late into the game is mostly just to make sure you have safe avenues for your split pushing, or perhaps your team's split pushing, or your team's escape. So that's why you'll see me put down boxes in places of line of sight or behind us or whatever, just in case something happens. My box could trip someone up and allow us to react appropriately. That, I do gotta say, is one of the Shaco's more intuitive abilities or intuitive aspects of play. Anyways, watch this. I'm starting to learn how to deal with his damage at least a little bit, and Kha'Zix spots me here just walking around and decides to fight me. He doesn't have full health, so he should have probably thought better, but bam, just pretty much instant murder the shit out of him. And that little scene right there gave me a huge boner. I'm not gonna lie. I hate Shaco with every fiber of my being, but I was actually having fun this game. Kind of, you know, in the sadistic form of fun, like Nunu and Teemo. Just you knowing you're the scourge of the earth, that in real life, if you were to replicate what you're doing as Shaco in the terms of, you know, vocalizing it, sort of like your actions as Shaco being a dick in game, being translated to like a vocalization kind of thing. Anyway, doing stuff in Shaco in real life would probably get your ass kicked. Anyways, Draven, I don't know if that was a bait or not, but it worked out in his favor. Pretty much got instant murdered. However, they gave a really awkward chase, and they were disengaging and engaging in different parts and focusing sort of a little bit. They sort of delayed their own focus a little bit too much and allowed them to take too much free damage from my teammates to show up and pretty much butt wreck the shit out of them the second they showed up. So Jace is so massive he pretty much one-shots anyone with an EQ combo. They try to give chase to Talia, but it seems fruitless, and I was telling him, yo, just turn around, make sure Kha'Zix doesn't kill you. Kill you guys. He kills the Zyra, and the Ryze kills him. So unfortunately, it didn't go as good as could be. But it's still, they're able to push. The Shaco, they're able to push. I'm gonna be moving towards top lane and try to control this area and split push, because you can see all this massive amounts of minion farm. It's just boner-inducing, right? Okay. And here I'm trying to bait the Kha'Zix, just waiting for him to do something stupid. Like if he engaged on me, I have 2 boxes in 2 little places. But he was super paranoid at this point. He could still kill me, but I could kill him just as much. Though I gotta say one thing, I haven't been using my ultimate as much as I thought I would be. I guess it's not because we're not really having full-on team fights and sort of just kind of skirmishes. But I'm failing to see a lot of the uses I could have of it, other than slipping people up who aren't paying attention. And of course the occasional semi-quasi damage that it can do just stabbing at people. Nonetheless though, you can see that we've pretty much gained absolute control of the map. Anyone who leaves their map alone is either going to get killed by me or the Jace. And Kha'Zix did just that, and we're able to kill him, push for the inhibitors, and my teammates down mid lane push through and kill the rest of them. And unfortunately, the game isn't exactly over yet, but we pretty much kind of secured, right? It's just kind of a matter of time. We take 2 inhibitors, we push down for bottom lane, and we get to take the 3rd inhibitor. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of out of breath here. We got all the inhibitors, we pull back for the Elder Dragon. They give a little bit of an awkward chase, which is what you can see in the minimap. They give a little bit of an awkward chase, and they just sort of forget that Jace can, and all of us can pretty much one-shot any of them. So Blitzcrank gets a little too close, gets one shot, in comes Nard, he just gets himself CC'd and absolutely butt-wrecked by me and Ryze, and with that, Elder Dragon is ours rather easily. To make matters worse for the enemy team, since they don't have any inhibitors, and we're about to get Elder Dragon, we're just going to go home after this because we're still sort of recovering everything from the last fight and wanting to buy items. So we have Elder Dragon, they have no inhibitors, and Baron just came up. And I also have Guardian Angel. All this shit is just like, man, it's just like, they know it's coming. They know it's going to hurt. It's sort of like when you're taking a massive dump and you just can't dump it all at once. You know it's going to come out, and it's going to come out really painful, and you're just pushing it out. You're just waiting for that end relief, the sweet mercy of defeat. Because at this point, it's just going to be like a goddamn train wreck. It's just coming out slowly, ripping out your intestines as it comes out. Either way, thank God it's over. My nightmares playing Shaco was not as nightmarish as I thought it would be, but I probably won't play him ever again. Hooray. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.